Estamos de volta com Tangle Tower. Agora já descobrimos algumas coisas sobre a detetive Hawkshaw. Falta agora descobrir a última suspeita do professor e quem sabe descobrir qual que é a fita com aquela estátua. Eu sou a Bebessaura, se você gostar do vídeo me segue, dá um like no vídeo. É isso aí, vambora. Só falta falar com esse homem. Só. Talvez eu devesse investigar mais o quarto da Freya, para ser sincera. Ah, não, ele fala pra torre de astronomia mesmo. Talvez tenha alguma coisa aqui. Não analisei
A
com
picture
calma.
frame.
With no picture.
It's full of tea, but it's gone cold.
Criminal.
It's tidier than my desk. The notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
Ah, mas eu já fui nos planetas.
We
Já
already
abri.
solved it.
A gente já abriu. Foi quando a gente achou isso aqui. Ah, aqui.
What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see? It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
Poderia ter na torre de astronomia, então. Já solucionei esse mistério daqui. Mas acho que talvez eu...
They're clearly gizmos.
Talvez, não sei. Eu achei que eu deveria vir pro quarto da Freya antes. Justamente pelo fato
It's a
dela...
little glass box.
I think it's a vivarium.
Come again?
See the leaves and twigs in there? Might have been for keeping insects.
Ah, no quarto da Fifi? Não tem, não. Esse aqui é a biblioteca. Eu já vi o quarto da Fifi aqui. Não, esse aqui é um outro tipo. Será que não tem onde eu encaixar esse negócio na própria torre de astronomia? Só o dele mesmo. E não tem. Ela nunca fala nada sobre nada. Falta uma coisa, eu acho, pra gente achar, porque tem um espaço no meu inventário. Ó, tem um espacinho.
Ask Fiona about that one. Looks like her area of expertise.
É efetivamente alguma coisa lá. Falta a gente ter alguma visão ali do alcance ali na torre de astronomia.
Did you find that in Fifi's room?
No. Should we have?
No, it's just...
Ele falou a mesma
Looks like
coisa.
something she'd use, don't you think?
Tem alguma outra coisa pra achar ali. E eu já perguntei pra ele sobre aquele negócio.
I don't know what that is.
Jardim de cima? Tem não. Seguindo essa dica que ele dá, a gente devia olhar na torre de astronomia. Olhar o quê? Tem alguma coisa aqui que a gente está sendo cego.
It's a chart of the solar system. Which planet are you from? It's a chart of the solar system. It's too cloudy to see any stars right now.
It's also daytime.
Every astronomy tower needs a telescope.
I want to try.
Aí, ó. Pode tentar ver. Ele consegue ver as
You can
estrelas?
see right into Flora's room.
Not by accident.
I can see Flora, but she's not looking this way. She's looking up. Behind her is the backside of the easel holding Freya's unfinished painting.
Dá pra ver o cavalete.
I can't really see anything behind it. Not from this angle. It's the tower opposite this one. I can see the doorway. It leads into the hall.
Ok.
The door itself is on the floor, knocked off its hinges.
It's
coisa
that
aqui,
little
aqui.
plant Flora keeps on the window ledge.
Don't you think it would fall off? In the wind.
Maybe it's glued down.
I can just about see the gramophone. You can see right into Flora.
Not by accident.
I can see Flora behind her. I can't really see. It's the tower opposite this one. It's the tower opposite this one.
Tem alguma coisa aqui que a gente
Too
tem que
dark back
enxergar.
there. I can't really see anything.
You can see right into
Not
I can
by
behind her. Can't really see. The rooftop garden is right underneath Flora's window.
Com certeza.
The rooftop garden is right underneath. The rooftop garden is right underneath.
Teria, se ele realmente estivesse
Hold
aqui,
on. I think we might have missed something.
estamos deixando passar alguma coisa. O que que eu não estou olhando direito? De novo, tem alguma coisa que eu estou sendo bem cega.
It's the tower opposite this one.
Is that a window?
I
janela.
think it is.
Ah, tem uma parte de cima aqui.
Is there another room above Flora's room?
We should check that next time we're over there. Isn't this supposed to be an astronomy telescope? I'm pretty sure you need to see the sky for astronomy to work.
I can't move it. I think this is just how it's set up.
There's something about Pointer's astronomy habits.
Querido,
Something
por que que o seu
suspicious.
telescópio tá bem de cara com a janela da
Let's
vizinha?
ask him about it.
Vai, filho, eu tenho sua suspeita
So,
agora.
Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be unexpanded.
Ah, de conversinha.
And how long have you been an astronomer?
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
Convenient.
Why do you ask me these things?
I have a theory about you, Professor.
Aí, grimoire.
Go on.
You're not really interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
Acho que você tá interessado na sua querida aí.
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant insects. My studies focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far away.
Right. That's why you like using your telescope so much.
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another world.
Yeah, about that.
Tava olhando. A cena do crime. Não pro céu?
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
First, you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist. Now you're accusing me of, what, spying?
Are
Com
you
certeza.
spying?
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
A gente nunca disse que
Why?
foi a Flora.
Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Might not have been Flora you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's a very Precious specimen, incredibly rare, valuable in ways you could never understand. Freya was always sneaking around, both towers and in the gardens too. She was definitely up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room around the time of the murder. Did you witness the crime, Professor?
E aí, querido?
No, I didn't. When I looked into the room, Flora was already lying on the floor.
Flora? You mean Freya?
No, Flora. She was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark, and the telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
This changes your statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
Apart from the reason you left your tower in the first place.
Right.
Eita, descobrimos alguma coisa mais pesada.
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
Vamos lá. Ah, é, tem um quarto ali em cima.
Freya was definitely up to something.
Fazendo alguma coisa.
Something to do with the statue in the garden, I think.
Talvez.
Maybe we should go back and check. And we could have missed something.
Olha um quadrinho aqui.
This wasn't here before.
What is it?
It's a little wooden toy. Looks kind of like a crab.
Parece que ela ainda quer que a gente
There's a
descubra.
note stuck to the back.
What does it say? Grimoire?
Esse é meu novo amigo, ele gosta de música, melodia simples, comoverão sua alma. Boa sorte aos dois, Freya! A melodia?
What do you think? Is it really from her?
How can it be?
Why don't we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
Good idea. Hold on.
Well,
It's a perfect match.
it's confirmed.
Ela não morreu.
We have a ghost helping us.
Let's keep this to ourselves for now.
What about the little wooden toy thingy?
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
Ai, que susto! Temos numa próxima parte, negócios pendentes. Tá. Posso ir pra cá? Precisa colocar uma música pra ele. Sótão.
What is that?
Not sure. Some kind of reel?
Looks like it might attach to something.
Ah, é? Bagulhete de carretel. Talvez eu tenha achado finalmente o último item. Será que eu achei todos os itens? Ah, ele tá aqui.
It's a statue standing up straight, like a man.
You
Tudo
know
tá
there's
de
a
pé.
name for that.
I know.
Lobisomem.
It's not quite as dusty as everything else up here. Also, it's not a statue. It's stuffed.
Horror.
What's in that little box? I bet it's bones. A skull, at least.
You know, maybe I won't open it.
Ah, aqui é um lugar bem pequeno.
Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry, is this spooky attic boring you?
Kinda.
Muito bem, tá? Eu tenho esse negócio aí. Eu achei que tinha alguma coisa a ver com alguma fita. Ah, aqui, a cena do
We
crime.
know a
Vou
little
passar.
more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
Pela própria pintura? Acho que não. Usado pra pintar, foi usado... Pintar a ponta vermelha. Foi trocado. Projetado para combinar com. Para depois conter, pintar sobre. Isso aqui é a Freya, para distrair Freya, para esconder evidência.
Blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right.
É, acho que ela
Decide
queria
if
que
I'm
parecesse.
disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
É,
Either it's a
qual foi
very
a
strange
fita?
coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
É,
Possibly.
qual que é o sentido de
it
tudo isso?
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Hold on. If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
É óbvio que é
Right now,
importante.
I'm less interested in the what and more interested in the how.
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with the painting.
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
Certo.
It's one of those big
Don't touch
Eu
it.
why
queria
not?
saber se a
Might be
gente
haunted.
pode pedir pra coisa tocar. A partitura.
Yeah, it's mine.
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
Eu acho que isso tem a ver com coisa. Aqui, ó. Sabia? Ah, o meu piano. Ah! Mais coisas pra se perguntar. Entendi. Viu?
Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic.
Mais algum lugar que as coisas fazem barulho. Parece.
Is that for sewing?
Maybe?
We have no idea.
Sobre os
I must say the girls are awfully well behaved
Essa
today.
fala da
I think
gaiola.
they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you? Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to
Tabitha,
Tabitha,
Tamara,
and Tatiana.
Tatiana. Eu acho que
I've
tem que
already
tocar
forgotten
aquela
a few of
fita.
those names.
Which one is which?
Oh,
Tem
that's
que
simple.
tocar aquela fita. Eu não lembro
Tatiana is
onde que
the
a gente
oldest.
tocou.
Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? It's just my hat. It doesn't have a name. Who would name their hat?
Sim, tá na torre... Ah, tá na torre da Flora. Ah, é o gramofone. A gente tem 2 fitas. Falta alguma coisa ainda. Agora eu não sei dizer... Ah, aí.
It's piano music.
Sim, é música de piano. Não fez nada. Será que isso vai fazer alguma coisa com o negocinho?
Weird.
It's someone humming a tune.
Ah, isso aqui fez, ó. Cantarolar. Beleza, descobri mais um. Quais outras coisas que fazem barulho? Sons. Nós precisamos lembrar o que tem sons. Onde mais temos sons? Aqui não tem nada. Aqui também não tem nada.
What is it?
We don't know. We were really hoping you
Guarda
would.
Freya, vou olhar.
My friends, shed your hope and let it fall free like sandbags from a hot air balloon.
That's the most depressing idiom I've ever heard.
Guarda Flora vai logo aqui embaixo, de qualquer forma.
We already solved it.
Esse aqui só deu a foto. Mas não tem nada que faça som aqui. Falando pra tocar melodias. Melódias. Deixa eu ver. Melodia quando estava na entrada principal. Opa. Aqui não é a entrada principal, mas calma aí.
Is this yours, Fifi?
I do not recognize it. And besides, I would have no use for such a thing. Perhaps it could be used to hang wet laundry?
Was that a joke?
Yes.
A melodia. Aqui? Ahá! A campainha. Falta mais uma. Mais uma melodia.
What is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like it attaches to something else.
Why don't you go back and double check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something else.
I'm not so sure about that.
Os passarinhos cantando ali na entradinha, né? E vou lá olhar. Quero perguntar desse bagulho pra todo mundo. Eu acho que eu só não perguntei pro Fitz e pro professor. Ai, caralho, não era isso que eu queria fazer.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Me 3. Oh, sorry. I thought you said me too.
Perguntei sim, eu perguntei já. Da planta? Já, da planta do Fitz, já. Não pergunto, não tava marcado? Depois eu olho.
What's this? Is it a clue?
We don't actually know. But Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
Achei que já tinha perguntado. Deixa eu olhar. Ah, aqui.
The people here are surprisingly materialistic, considering how sheltered they are.
Materialistic?
Growing this fruit simply because it produces a gemstone-like material. For what possible purpose, other than financial gain?
You're
sei lá.
speculating.
What would you do, Grimoire, if you could grow valuable stone straight from the earth?
Tá. Aqui eu acho, né? Que tem os passarinhos. Aqui, ó. Ah, os passarinhos. Os passarinhos são os últimos. Então é 2 pontinhos abertos, 2 pontinhos, 2 olhinhos menos abertos e 2 na lateral.
That's all 4 melodies, I think.
So, what do we do with them?
Should we go back to the gardens again?
Sim, deveríamos.
Let's try this again.
You know, I think we might be able to solve this now.
Certeza que conseguiremos.
That's gotta be right.
Nothing.
What?
Maybe it's broken.
Wait, do you hear that?
Eita, abriu.
Where do you think it goes?
Vou descobrir.
Down.
Nossa, tem um buraco aqui embaixo ainda. Mais um capítulo. Abaixo. Rápido. Olha, um laboratório. E aqui os
What's in
insectos.
there?
Talvez agora isso vai fazer sentido com aquele negócio que tem no jardim.
9 beetles. All different, all dead.
Poor little guys.
There's a bunch of notes written all around them. It's mostly numbers. No idea what they mean. It's a little diagram of a beetle, with some incomprehensible notes scribbled next to it.
That's weird.
What?
It looks really normal compared to the beetles behind the glass.
Coffee.
Seems likely, doesn't it? Weird looking safe.
I'm pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
Ah. Caramba. Ah, calma aí. Ah, ele fica por cima e por baixo independente. Tá. Ah, calma aí. Esse aqui é o primeiro. Hum. Gente.
Nothing.
I think we're trying to make a path between the key and Loxon.
Aqui. E aí, aqui eu me perdi. E aqui.
No, that was it.
Agora sim.
Nice work.
Caralho, isso é foda.
Anything inside?
Yeah, more research.
Olha, aqui é onde estaria o coisinho, onde se encaixa aquele pedaço do besouro. Uma pasta contendo anotações e diagramas. Nossa fauna e flora singulares são subprodutos de vários produtos químicos ainda não identificados. Esses produtos químicos estão continuamente presentes na água, formando nuvens e enchendo o lago. Isso causa uma variedade de mutação em plantas e animais. Criaturas menores como aracnídeos, insetos, moluscos, anfíbios e crustáceos são as mais afetadas. Entretanto, os produtos químicos podem subir pelos níveis tróficos, causar mutações em pássaros e répteis. Até onde sabemos, mamíferos ainda não foram afetados.
Whose research is this?
Laboratório
This is
secreto.
some seriously in-depth research.
Com
That's
certeza.
impressive, but it's incomplete. There's a section missing.
Uhum. É a do... É essa aqui. Ela estava pesquisando. Agora sim.
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Talvez.
Definitely seems like he's the one using it.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who is he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
Pointer locked up the golden beetle in the astronomy tower. Nope.
Veio da flora. Produzir. Se esconder. Veio da flora, mas... Espaço.
Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the greenhouse. Almost. Maybe just change one. Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the astronomy tower. Almost. Maybe just change one. Pointer has
no
been trying to
laboratório.
breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Why? Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
Infinite. It might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
Might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive. I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle.
Caramba, tem muito mais sobre esse jogo que eu ainda não... Eu achei que tinha
Ready to go down again?
Vamos. Tem mais? Um monte. Caramba, tem mais ainda. Talvez não fosse pra nós.
A single book on a little makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
Vístidos do Mar e Céu, um livro ilustrado infantil, parece bem tipo o Borra-Tinta. Pássaro elegante de plumagem vermelha e branca. Ele é um mito? Uma figura mitológica? A cobra argenta. Réptil aquático sem olhos com uma longa língua. É aquela estátua na coisa de pedra, né? O garra-lama, um caranguejo com garras de 3 diferentes tamanhos. É o que tava tocando a harpa, eu acho, né? Que toda coisa tem referência. E o bipetraque, uma criatura bípede similar a um sapo. Esse aqui é o do brinquedinho de lama da Freya.
We're too late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why? By what?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
Será que foi tipo uma flecha, uma vara como essa que matou ela? Crise resistente do metal, foi usada para furar uma fotografia. A vara tem uma ponta curvada com... Ai! Isso aqui tava junto com aquele negócio, foi arremessado com aquela linha. A pessoa que talvez tenha matado ela ou tentado, jogou isso aí e puxou de volta com aquela linha. A vara tem uma ponta curvada com uma flecha ou um ponteiro relógio. Tem um pequeno círculo amarrado atrás, um pedaço de corda vermelha amarrado, uma estátua perfumada, limpo e polido.
So what's the photo?
É a Freya com vários pássaros e o pai... É a Flora e os pássaros e o pai dela. Foi emoldurada, mas está um pouco úmida. A foto mostra uma jovem garota. Um homem enorme senta-se ao seu lado. Em volta deles, vários pássaros vermelhos e brancos. O objeto de metal furou a foto, deixando um buraco próximo ao peito do homem.
Do you know who it is in the photo? This man in the photo, he reminds me of something from one of our clues.
Esse homem? Não lembra desses pássaros daqui?
That's not right.
Aqui?
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is.
Pai dela. Lord Fellow.
Lord Fellow.
Really?
Wait, no, hang on.
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, it makes sense when you know who he is.
Ah, é o Lord Remington.
Lord Remington.
O pai dela.
That makes him Flora's father, meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah, it's her.
Flora.
See the bird, too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
Não mesmo. Ainda acho que tem alguma coisa na minha teoria. A gente achou essa coisa de metal que tem uma pontinha de uma corda vermelha, igual esse negócio que a gente tem aqui. Então eu acho que a pessoa que tenha perfurado a Freya perfurou com aquela vara de metal e puxou ela de volta, por isso que não tinha arma do crime. E aí a gente achou essa pintura que é da Flora com o pai dela. Lord Remington, aqui ó. Chique, hein? Olha aqui, ó, a mão. Todo cheio de cicatrizes. Ai. É, parece isso, uma espécie de arpão.
It's an old coat rack. Looks...
2 cloaks and a green hat draped on top for good measure. This room looks old. Like, old.
Makes the rest of the house seem relatively modern.
Era isso que eu queria clicar.
This room looks old. Like,
It makes the rest of the house seem relatively
Essas
old
caixas.
cardboard
how
box.
exciting.
Oh, but there's more. They're also damp and empty. Old cardboard.
exciting.
Oh, they're also damp and empty.
E aqui.
There's a roll of paper up there.
I'll see if I can reach it.
Let me guess. Blank.
Vamos ver. É um... Ah! Uma planta. Mansão Místida. Travessa da Ala Norte. Ou como era a planta original, pelo menos.
Hold on. Have we been to all of these rooms already?
A planta original da casa. Aqui, ó, tem um escritório.
Study. Wait.
I know what you're thinking.
A gente não foi
And
ali.
no, we never went in there.
How did we miss it?
This seems pretty significant.
Agreed.
As plantas aqui, ó. Mansão. Era como era antes, eu acho. De pergaminho onde a planta para a enorme mansão foi desenhada. Uma linha horizontal marca onde o lago costumava ser e onde é agora. Aqui, ó. Nossa, o lago cobriu boa parte aqui, ó, desses 2 andares de baixo. Isso foi construído sobre uma grande estrutura no meio do lago, suportada por pilastras. O quarto de freio está listado como depósito. O cômodo individual do escritório está no centro. É, dispensa, né? Então, nós temos... Como que eu vou ir pro escritório? Mais alguma coisa pra achar aqui ainda? Talvez uma chave?
It's an empty bookcase.
Something tells me it's been empty for.
It's an empty.
Something tells me it's been empty for.
A single book.
This is.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
Ah, tá, a gente já olhou.
A bunch of picture frames. And it's too dark to
It's
see.
not too dark. The frames are all empty.
Basements don't normally have windows.
We're at the bottom of the lake. We must be.
Right. But if that's the lake bed,
Esse é o fundo
why
do
does
lago.
it look like that?
Like what?
White, smooth, no plants, no anything. That's not what a lake looks like.
Where are we?
Onde que a gente tá, caralho? O lago.
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a room with one candle?
It's all coming through the window.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom, not lighter.
Why is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Certeza.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe we're too late. Let's head back up to the Grand Hall. I want to find that last room.
Ai, gente, será que a gente vai finalmente... Alguma coisa com isso aqui.
Wow, it's dark all of a sudden.
How long were we down there?
This must be it. This thing goes all the way up.
How are we supposed to get up there?
Hang on, it's pitch black, but I think there's a switch.
Puxei. A escada.
A ladder.
Want to go up?
Vambora. Talvez a gente esteja cada vez... estejamos bem próximos de descobrir. Sala escondido. Vambora. Eu consegui uma conquista e um segredo. Mais de com certeza.
It's a wooden pinboard, hung up on one of the chains.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
Olha, o desenho da Rockshaw. Parece que eu... É, sim.
It's a wooden pinboard hung up on
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
Aqui é o desenho dela e aqui é o desenho da Freya. Mas eu não posso juntar as duas coisas ainda. Tá.
Crumpled up paper.
Is there anything written on any of it?
Tem um caranguejo.
Not really. It's mostly blank.
Ah, é aqui?
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent exoskeleton. You can actually see its insides.
Eca.
Also, crabs normally have 2 claws, right? Not 3?
É, ele também é
You sure we should be touching it?
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
Sim, ele tava no livro mesmo. Ah,
This
peraí.
crab really reminds
That little wooden toy we found?
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to help us. I think I've seen it more recently.
Cadê? Vamos ver como é que ele tá no livro. Ó, essa aqui tá aberta totalmente. Ela tá virada pra lateral. Esse aqui tá virado um pouquinho. Aberto meia por coisinha. E esse aqui tá perpendicular, só que fechado.
Is that a crab?
It's got
Also, crab.
Sim.
Perfect.
Aqui. Haha! E aí, Jotarugo? Hello, hello! A gente abriu. Ah! Aqui! Mano, atiraram nela com uma besta. Isso é uma besta. Atiraram nela com uma besta.
something somebody didn't want us to find.
Aqui, ó. O carretel vai aqui embaixo e a coisa de metal vai aqui. Por isso que o corte foi tão reto nela. O furo foi tão reto assim. E foi só um furo. Talvez alguém estivesse tentando acertar a Flora. Mas isso aqui que foi usado. Com certeza. Uma besta.
Was
Ai,
someone
que
trying to hide
besteira.
it from us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
A gente
We
já achou.
found them already.
Ah, pera. Calma aí, calma aí.
I think that might attach the cross, but not this part of the cross.
Aqui. Aqui. E aqui. Foi a detetive Rockshaw que tentou atirar nela.
What do you make of it?
Not sure. Let's keep an open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon. But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery. Some kind of fish and a bird skull, I guess?
That's a bird skull. We're talking about a 15-foot bird here.
Well, how about we stop talking about it? Some kind of fish and...
We're talking...
Well, how about we stop talking about dragon?
Snake?
Worm?
That's the one.
An incinerator built into the wall. It's still pretty
Incinerador.
hot.
Is there anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes, but yeah, there's something.
A pena. A pena e alguma outra coisa vermelha com botões.
An axe and some kind of hunting rifle.
Honestly, doesn't look like they've been moved in a few years.
I'm more worried about the third one.
The third one?
The one that isn't there.
Ah, aqui é que a gente descobre que tava ali.
Crumpled up paper.
Is there anything
Not really. It's mostly blank. Coffee table, half-empty wine bottle, lamp left on. I'm gonna say someone's been using this room.
Com certeza.
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
Oh, um caderno. Várias páginas foram arrancadas, mas algumas ainda se persistem. Quinto embaixador localizado. Finalmente. Não posso dizer que estava otimista, mas com certeza gerou decepção nada superior ao restante. Levei meu amigo Místido até o salão de música para experimentos. Funciona, talvez bem demais. O laboratório foi outra decepção. Todo aquele esforço para quê? Ele é ainda mais incapaz de chegar do que eu esperava. Foi até o fundo, bela vista. Foi quase completamente limpo, mas eu consegui o que queria. Ela entrou, foi cuidadosa, não mexeu em nada, mas eu sei, chegou a hora.
Someone's been using this room.
Com certeza.
I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion. But nowadays it's some big secret?
It's not a secret to everybody.
Com certeza
At
não.
least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
A gente já
That
tem.
might not be impossible, you know.
Com certeza não. Alguém tava analisando. Será que era ela mesma que tava aqui?
The painting from Freya's room and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting, but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. And as for those sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them. It was somebody else, someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
I'm not sure. I still don't know what's really going on.
Em uma parte desse mistério que ainda falta concluir. Uma
Do
coisa que
those
eu
look like scratch marks to you?
Yeah, they're on the inside. That's a bookcase. It's mostly empty.
What a surprise.
O que mais
You
você
know,
achar
in any
aqui?
normal room, this thing would be my main concern. In here, though, it barely makes the top 3.
Tá, ainda deve ter alguma coisa aqui pra gente achar. Pero o quê?
Thanks.
Talvez.
They call this room a study?
What would you call it?
The secret death chamber of doom.
Those aren't bird cages.
Some of them are disconcertingly large.
At least they're all empty.
You sure that's a good thing?
Se não significa que todos esses bichos saíram fora.
That's how we got in. It leads down into the Great Hall.
Uma foto
Doesn't
do
look
lado
like there's
da
any
escada.
other way to get in or out.
Ah, é verdade. Aqui, né?
Who are all the people in this photo?
Not sure, but it looks like someone didn't like them very much. Their eyes have all been crossed out.
Foto em grupo. A foto moldura resistente de madeira está empoeirada e parece bem antiga. Os embaixadores da mansão Místida. Era a Pop e essa aqui era ela, com certeza. Será que esse aqui era o Professor Pointer? Talvez essa fosse a Primrose? Esse talvez fosse o Félix? E esse eu não sei. 2 mulheres e 3 homens usando uma grande variedade de... Mas isso aqui faz muito tempo, talvez essa seja a Primrose. Essa fosse a mãe da Pop, a mãe e o pai. Ou não? Sei.
That photo is important. I'm sure of it.
Certeza. 5 pessoas.
Another photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is him.
A gente vai finalmente chegar lá, galera. Eu sinto que a gente tá chegando lá.
Time to solve this.
É agora.
All right, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Certeza não.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
It was fired from in front of Freya.
Wait, I'm confused.
Me too.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
Ah, de cima. Por isso que ela caiu tão
It was
reta.
fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah, our diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
Aqui, ó.
Attic.
Se
Perfect
soltam
hiding
alguém.
place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Ninguém ia vê-lo na
The
hora.
arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope, doesn't add up. It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless...
Ela já estava caída no chão.
Freya was already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too. She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
Alguma coisa. Talvez.
Paint fumes.
I'm not sure about that.
Me
Yeah.
neither.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
Tem alguma coisa.
There was something in the gramophone.
Something small.
Pequena coisa dentro do gramofone. O que estaria dentro? Penas? Não.
That's not it.
Ah, cinzas?
That's not it.
Meu Deus, o que estaria dentro? Essa fita?
That's not it.
Nem essa.
That's not it.
Vidro?
That's not it.
Tinta?
That's not it.
Caralho, o que estaria ali? Ai,
That's not it.
por porque eu não entendi.
That's not it. That's not it.
Não,
That's not it.
não, óbvio que não.
That's not it. That's not it.
O que estaria dentro?
That's not it. That's not it.
Tem a
That's not it.
tinta,
That's not it.
tem isso.
That's not it.
Não, o que poderia estar?
Pointer's research says it can emit an
Ah,
incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so, not by itself. But don't forget, it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. And I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music room? The horn it's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage too.
Retrato?
That's not it.
E que também foi afetado? O pássaro?
That's not it. That's not it. That's not it.
Acho que foi a fita.
Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's some seriously powerful vibration. Enough to crack metal. Enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away from the gramophone than Flora was.
They protected themselves.
How?
Abafadores.
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah. What triggered it at that particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
I'm not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic, presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
That's it.
Mas quem fez tudo isso?
There's something bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene. I can see the stars.
Ai.
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it. It's dark.
Ah, tá tudo aqui. Isso tudo eu já olhei.
The plant. It's in the book.
What?
Tá no livro?
Look.
Ah, tá aqui.
The plant. It's in the
What?
book. Look.
Sim, beleza. E aí? negócio fala que tem alguma coisa aqui. Paleta de cores.
Freya, did you leave us a clue?
A pista perdida. Aí, ó, eu tô falando, eu tô chegando quase lá.
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink dip feather?
It was here. In this room. Where'd it go?
Encontramos em outro
Found it
lugar.
somewhere else.
Na queimada. Aqui.
We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene. And ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access? The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here. It's in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it. Then I could be totally sure.
Eu acho que tem alguma coisa
It's
a ver
true
com
she
isso.
never finished it. But she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
A gente sabe?
That's not it.
Ah, aqui?
That's not it.
Não.
That's not it.
Meu Deus.
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting.
De algo na janela. Seria usado para pintar.
The black paint was going to be used to paint the potted plant of something sitting in the window. Nope.
Ah, esse aqui, ó.
The black paint was going to be used to paint the sketch of something sitting in the window. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
Era essa tinta preta? Seria usado?
The black
Não.
paint was going to be used to paint the sketch of something sitting in the window. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
Aqui.
The yellow paint was going to be used to paint the sketch of something sitting in the window.
Something in the window. Oh.
Ah, seria um vaso desse, não?
That's not it.
Ah, não.
That's not it.
Não seria o besouro também. Uma coisa na janela. O que estaria? Um ovo?
That's not it. That's not it.
Alguma coisa amarela. Jesus.
That's not it.
Mas eu já coloquei o besouro. Pássaros? Pássaro? Era pra ser um pássaro.
There she is. Our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
She did. But she's a very good listener. Well now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind. But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention?
Penélope, eu te defendi! Eu te defendi.
Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
Justice for Freya.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of a great energy. The volition to create something
Eu ainda tô impactada.
from nothing. The willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, what is it, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer? I suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after.
Ela se fez de detetive?
Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy, not one.
E quem é que é de verdade?
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
Ela disse
I
mesmo.
did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me.
Shh.
You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Sim.
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself. My mother, for one. My father, too.
Ela tá
The
falando
other
de todos
two
os familiares.
Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose, and her brother, Richard.
Falando de todo mundo que
And
saiu fora.
Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
Ah,
And
os
that
5.
was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do at first.
Tá falando que ela viajou pra procurar os 5, que são os únicos 5 da árvore genealógica que não estão aqui na mansão.
Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya
E ela
is
tentou
now.
descobrir
Found
o
what?
lugar dela. Escritório?
The study, the one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to a bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night, deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end.
Ah, e ela, a parede dela era
Paint
bem...
would peel, wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed.
Era bem
I thought it was
no
something
incinerador.
trying to break through. Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside. Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
É místido. Não sei.
Mistids? Sure, yeah.
You're more observant than I thought.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids, like cryptids, like Bigfoot or whatever.
Ah, é, essa
A little
super foi uma
egregious, isn't it? I suspect
adaptação
that was an
brasileira.
intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan. As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
Acho que foi esse livro.
That's not it.
Uma coisa que ela achou.
The 5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of Misted Mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
And rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first visit to the study, I found nothing but ash. The afterimage of a bygone era denied to me in its entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them,
Ela queria descobrir o mistério da mansão, mas já foi
share the
descoberto
family
antes.
history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts, the creatures themselves, all lost, taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission, a unified purpose.
Mas cada fugiu pro seu próprio canto.
They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mistids. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5, completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision.
Decisão foi essa, virar uma assassina?
There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era of Misted Mansion.
Tesouro?
So where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure. But I theorize that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, I decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost.
Ela
Perhaps it
queria
had been
virar
stolen.
a...
He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though?
Ela tem dupla
Why go
personalidade?
through all that? The
Mas
name,
pra que
the
tudo isso?
costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Com certeza.
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
Carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique?
É, eu já estava se
Before
perguntando
Misted
isso.
Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
Pra que exato, pra que tudo isso? Testamento?
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
Ah, nisso aqui, claro.
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona. The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all 3 families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened. Before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Ela matou todos eles.
Freya had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why
Eu
hide
queria
the
matar
attic?
ela pra ela não
And
se
why
expor
bother with the
como
beetle
uma
at all?
assassina.
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of the room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. Worked on you, too.
Ela queria que a gente pensasse
So why
que
are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
Meu Deus, a gente vai desmaiar. Ela fugiu.
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fitz saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
Peraí, no fim das contas ele realmente gostava
But
dela?
what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Ela deixou até o chapéu
Hang
dela,
on.
que parece passarinho.
Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
Ué, mas é um pássaro ou é um sapato? Ou é
So,
chapéu
Penny
essa
got
porra?
away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope,
How do you know?
because it's right here.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Ela vai voltar.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I think that's what she would have wanted.
De todas as pessoas que eu tive qualquer suspeita durante todo esse tempo, a última que eu realmente desconfiaria em qualquer momento, mas sabe, realmente elas têm a mesma dubladora. Mas é a única pessoa da face da Terra que eu desconfiaria. Só depois que ela se revelou que ela era detetive, que a minha cabeça linkou, elas tinham a mesma voz. Em tonalidades diferentes. Gente, a Penny me decepcionou. Me decepcionou mais do que qualquer ex-namorado meu. Mas olha, a gente chegou até o fim de Tangle Tower, realmente. Ai, cara, esse jogo é muito legal. Foi um point click game maravilhoso. Eu adorei, eu adorei. Plot realmente de milhões. Eu amei muito. Ela, no fim das contas, era só realmente o que ela era, uma pessoa perdida e solitária. Triste isso. Lá se foi o besouro. Bom, é isso. Acabamos Tangle Tower. Se você tá assistindo aí pelo YouTube e gostou desse vídeo, deixa um like, se inscreve se você gostar de mim. Vamos seguir para outros jogos. Se você quiser, você pode vê-los na Twitch. É isso, gente. Um beijo. Tchau, tchau.